Hey guys, Mark here, and behind me I have an all-new 2018 Honda Accord LX. Now, I know what you're thinking, this is a tech channel, Mark, it's not a car review channel, so why do you have a car behind you? And you're absolutely right, this is a tech channel, so I will be focusing on the technology features inside and outside the 2018 Honda Accord LX, because there's a lot of them. So, without further ado, let's jump in. Alright, so the first thing to note about the 2018 Honda Accord LX is that you don't need your key fob for pretty much anything. Like, I can keep this in my pocket and I'll never have to use it. For example, if I ever wanted to get into my car, all I have to do is keep the key fob in my pocket, walk right up to the handle, and just touch it, and it unlocks. Just as simple as that. That theme of not using your key fob or just keeping your key fob in your pocket continues here when you're inside the car, because all you have to do is put your foot on the brake, hit that start button, and away you go. All right, so the first thing your eye is drawn to when you get inside this vehicle is the large 7-inch touchscreen head unit. Now, this head unit works extremely well. It's very precise, it's very responsive. The only thing is, it is proprietary, which means you can't really get a whole lot of third-party apps to put on this thing. However, to make up for that, what it does come with is Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. And there's a ton of features built into those two apps. And honestly, I've found myself not wanting any more third-party apps anyway, because they have everything I could ever possibly need right here while I'm inside my car. So that's great. Let me just give you an example of a use case scenario of when I would use Android Auto. So I get in, I plug in my Google Pixel 2 XL into the car, and it'll immediately come up on my phone, Android Auto. And then you just select the Android Auto button on the touchscreen head unit there, and then that will launch Android Auto. So what I can do with Android Auto is there's actually a voice recognition system built into the car. And if I tap it once, you can talk to the car and say something like, call such and such a person, or change the radio station to, 101.4 or something like that. But it's very limited in what you can do that way. However, if I hold the voice recognition button down on the steering wheel, it will actually activate Google Assistant. And of course, if you have an iPhone plugged in, it will activate Siri. So of course, there are unlimited scenarios in which you can use that. But the one I find myself using it the most is the navigation. So I can hold down the button here and say something like, navigate me to the nearest grocery store. And then of course, the navigation will pop up. And the coolest thing, and the next thing you will notice after you do that, is right here in your dashboard, the navigation will actually pop up and tell you where to go, where you need to turn, etc. Right here next to your speedometer. So I guess the very next thing, and it's probably a good segue to talk about, is the entire left side of your dashboard next to your speedometer is an LCD screen. So if I hit the home button on my steering wheel, you'll see a bunch of menu options pop up here inside your tachometer. You've got audio, so if I'm playing a radio station, it'll tell you what radio station is playing, and then sometimes it'll actually tell you what song is playing on that radio station. We also have calling. The phone menu option here is for calling. You can access your recent numbers, your recent contacts, etc. But the one I really want to pay attention to just for a couple of moments here is the driver attention menu. And what this actually does, it's a safety feature in which the car actually senses if you are attentive. So if I'm erratically driving all over the road, or I'm speeding up or slowing down really, really quickly or erratically, the car will beep and that attention level will go down. It's at 4 bars right now because I'm attentive, I'm driving well, I'm not all over the road or anything. But once that meter goes all the way down, it will actually beep, and it'll come up in the bottom, or the left-hand side here, and will say, driver attention low, please pull over for a break, or something like that. And speaking of safety features, this Honda Accord has a ton of them. So it has the full Honda Sensing package. So let's go over the Honda Sensing options on this vehicle. So first up is the lane keep assist system. It's actually really cool. If you get on the highway and you set your speed at, 100, 110 or something like that, kilometers, of course, not miles, please don't do that in miles. It will actually actively attempt to keep you within the lines of the road automatically. So the car will actually steer itself. Now, it's not autonomous driving, but it's kind of close and it feels that way. So the first time you activate that, if you've never seen anything like that before, it gives you this really giddy feeling, and it's a really, really, really cool feature. Next up is the adaptive cruise control. This is also a really cool feature. So what adaptive cruise control does is it senses the distance between you and the car in front of you, and it will keep or maintain a safe distance close to the speed you have set on cruise control. So if I set 60, for example, and the person in front of me is going 40, it will go 40 along with that person until he moves out of the way, he or she moves out of the way, and then it will resume back up to 60. So you don't have to touch your foot on the gas or the brake at all. It will slow down for you. And this actually works right down to stop and go traffic, which is really, really convenient. The next feature is the collision mitigation braking system. And what this does is if someone stops in front of you very abruptly and you don't notice, or you're slow to react, the car will actually beep first. It will tell you brake. There's like a big brake orange icon that comes up on your left. It's like brake, 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 do it right now. And if you don't do that, it will attempt to brake the car for you. Brake the car sounds really strange, but you know what I mean. I'll continue talking after the sun stops burning my retinas. Beyond the Honda sensing package though, there are also a lot of other really neat safety features and just, you know, really cool technology features integrated within this Honda Accord. For example, the car has automatic high beam headlights, which is really cool. And it's not like anything massive. It's not like, oh wow, he's got automatic high beam headlights. It's not like that type of feature, but it's really nice that they've included these types of little things that improve the overall experience of driving this vehicle. The last technology feature that I'd really like to talk about is the backup camera. Now, the backup camera has 3 different modes. It's not what they call the 360 camera or anything like that, but what it is it's a very, very wide camera lens that you can switch from different modes. So the first mode is a very wide, almost 180-degree mode, where you can see pretty much everything in the left and right directions when you're backing up. So if you're backing up, you can see all the way up the road and all the way down the road. The second mode is a more linear mode. So if you're backing up and you don't want all that wide distortion, it'll actually crop in so that you can see a more linear version when you're backing up. And then the third mode is a top-down mode. So if you're backing into something and you don't want to hit it, you can hit that third button and it will look straight down for you, and it'll allow you to adjust the distance between you and the object you're backing into. So that's a great feature as well. So the 2018 Honda Accord is absolutely loaded with tech features. And I neglected to tell you this until the very end, but this is a base model Accord. This is a 2018 Honda Accord LX. It doesn't have all of the crazy features that even the touring or even the sport model has, like the sunroof and the wireless charging pad and the fog lights and all that stuff. There's even more features in the higher end models, but this is the absolute bottom tier car that you can buy. This car has so many features that the first time I got in, I had to confirm with the dealer that this was actually a base model car. I mean, come on, what more can you ask for? You got a touchscreen, you got Honda sensing features. I mean, the car practically drives itself. You've got heated seats, you got dual zone automatic climate control, auto everything. I mean, sure, if you want to pay a premium for a sunroof and fog lights and a wireless charging pad and a few other neat little features, fine. That's great, good for you, but I'm happy with the base package. This thing has everything. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that technology review of the 2018 Honda Accord LX. I told you they do have a ton of new tech features, and it's lovely to see on all of these mid-size sedans. So thanks so much for watching. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button to support my channel, and as always, have a great day.